back to the Resurrected podcast. You just don't have that. This is a special episode. I'm David. This is Alex, and we've got Ethan. Alan listening. Oh, David, you do the intro, and then shortest intro ever. Now Alex, Alex. Yeah. Okay, so we don't have any done. This is draft number 1. 8. Draft number 8. Premise of this draft. Starting with the rest, we all have 30 games in total. Check all of their metacritic scores and get a total. And whoever has the highest total score at the end wins. David is currently top of the league table with 17 points. You get 3 points for a win, 2 for second place, 1 for third place. I have 14 and Kelsey has 11. David has 4 wins. I have 2. Kelsey has the 1. The winner last time was, of course, David.
I'm not feeling good about this one. I think
by
this is
5 points.
My first one where I drop my, I don't know, ball.
Sure. I typically do my list for the current round of draft picking immediately after the previous draft because I get the flavor, I get the taste.
Yeah. So is it going to be as big a surprise to us?
It's been listed for like months.
So is it going to be as big a surprise to you what we've picked as it is to us? Have you already forgotten?
Have I disconnected?
Yeah, David's frozen for me.
I'm back again. Everybody.
I think we all did.
Yeah,
we're all back.
Froze
okay now.
When I
Discord.
I sort of see how long ago I actually wrote this. November 21st, 2023 is when I compiled my draft picks. When we thought we were going to have to do this a few weeks ago, right at the last second, I actually did compile a list for David of almost completely different things that I thought he might enjoy more than me. I almost helped you with your draft picks, but I didn't need to in the end. I'm excited. I think there's some great games here. I don't know. You guys seem to have quite a few, quite fewer than me.
There's some great games on here. I'm just not convinced they scored particularly high in Metacritic.
Yeah, I wonder if David's right because I look at my main 10 and it's like there's a couple of my favorite games of all time on here, but did they get 9s? Did they get 10s?
Yeah, I mean,
possibly
I don't know
not.
If this is a spoiler. Like, Mirror's Edge is a game that I think is fantastic. I don't think that scored more than 85.
That's not even that was completely omitted from my list for that very reason. I would have thought. From me.
So it may or may not be somewhere on mine, but like I said before we started recording, I usually have a lot of backups. I have 4 backups today, so I may run into trouble very quickly. Wild. So I've got the 2008 list open just in case I need to jump back into that.
Yes, that will be in the podcast description for those listening, so you can play along at home.
Annoyingly, I usually write down some games I'm entertained by the name, but I don't seem to have done that this time because there were some crackers on this list.
It's worth reminding everybody that David does his on paper.
I do.
Still?
I do. Yep. I do. I write all the games out on paper that catch my eye, then I go through the list and highlight the games that I want to pick, and then I pick the highlighted games until I run out, and then I start picking the rest from the rest of the list.
What's your handwriting like these days? Because whenever I have to write anything on paper, which is like never, I write like a fucking 5-year-old because
my
it's
just fucking terrible.
I just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, what age do you think you stop joining up your letters? Because I don't do that at all anymore. But you have to do that at secondary school. We did anyway, right? Americans would call it.
I don't think I've done it since then.
Yeah. But mine is all just like spaces. I don't join my letters up at all anymore.
Oh, I do.
What about you?
No.
Yeah, I still joined up. Yeah. There was a period where, when I was doing my apprenticeship just after I left school, when I worked in a workshop, we had to write in capitals. And I kind of switched to that for a while because I had to do it so often. But I lost that. And yeah, I think that's why my writing's so terrible. It's because I write joined up and it's just a scroll. My writing's
faster,
much neater. Yeah.
Honestly, mine comes out. Yeah, mine comes out like a really rough Comic Sans. Like that's the best way I can describe it. It looks terrible. Writing
As long
birthday
as it's
cards
not
or anything,
wingdings.
it's just...
you're
I was
okay.
just about you.
Sorry, Alex.
Yeah. I mean, this is a humble. It's not a humble brag because it's just an outright brag. But my former Japanese teacher used to say that my Japanese handwriting was really nice when I was learning. So there we go. Couldn't understand half of it or say any of it, but she said my writing was very nice. She said it was like a Japanese person, which I think was a lie. I think that was just her being pleasant and kind.
Making you feel
what
good.
Japanese women do. They don't like confrontation, so let's just tell him it's nice.
We're going to have to start this. I'm eager to start. I'm interested to see.
Okay. Do we do it that the loser goes first? Is that right?
Yeah. Is that how we did it?
And then second place goes second, and the first place goes last. So, Kelsey, you're up first, then me, then David. Then David will go second in round 2.
Yeah.
I will go first in round 2, and Kelsey will go last. You go up the number every time until you get to 1, then you drop back down to 3.
Okay.
That is how.
I feel like every time we do this, you explain that, and I still don't understand.
We're definitely going to mess it up.
I explain it worse every time, and then confuse myself.
Oh,
as I say it.
There's a spreadsheet I can look at, isn't there? I think I surprised myself by remembering that every single.
Yeah,
that one is not written in your notebook. That one is you have to use a computer for that one.
Unfortunately.
Imagine if it was like a live doc, but it was in his notebook, and every time I type something, it just like scrawls itself for him, like that TV show Ghostwriter. Remember that? Or was that on was that a computer? Was that a computer?
Won't be long before we have tech like that.
Ghostwriter.
Pass.
It was something like some kids found a shitty like Apple II or something, and then it started like talking to them. It would just like write stuff, and it would tell them about crimes, and they'd have to go find help the police catch the criminal because the ghost machine had told them where the crime was going down. It was like a lazier Minority Report for children.
Was that like one of those BBC children's programs?
Might have been.
Or yeah, I don't know what I
thought it was
maybe even completely unrelated. Did either of you remember a TV show on BBC called Aquila about 2 kids that discovered like an ancient spacecraft that like they could fly around in? Because you said this old machine talked to them. It reminded me of that, and they'd press a button and a screen would come up on the. It looked like an egg, and they would fly around in this egg, and they like flew to Normandy and stuff like that. That show was like, as a, I guess, 7-year-old, it was like one of my favorite things of all time. I did a school project on it. And it stuck with me to this day. Aquila, and I haven't thought about it probably for about 20 years until you just talked about Ghostwriter.
Right when David's saying he's hankering to get started, we're talking about the most utter shit of TV shows. Ghostwriter was 1992, by the way, and it was on BBC. Whoever asked that question.
Ghostwriter, right?
Yeah.
So I don't recognise Aquila. Let's see if I recognise
Aquila. Aquila. Yeah, it was supposed to be like,
have they redone this as a movie?
Thing.
There seems to be a Pierce Brosnan one from 2010.
Oh God, I don't think that's anything to do with it.
Ghostwriter was critically acclaimed.
Oh,
TV
have to get the DVD.
And honoured for presenting a realistic, ethnically diverse world in its 2-hour mystery stories.
Oh,
it ranked
fabulous!
In the top 5 of all children. No, that's citation needed. I'm not even reading that out. I'm not giving that the time of day.
Well, there's something called Ghostwriter on Apple TV, so there's something for you to watch, Alex.
They solve neighborhood crimes and mysteries as a team of youth detectives with the help of a ghost named Ghostwriter. It can communicate with children only by manipulating whatever text and letters he can find and using them to form words and sentences.
I'm sure I do vaguely remember it.
Don't know why I remember it. Anyway.
Imprint. Anyway,
I had an
imprint.
extra Audible credit, so I decided to spend it on. I didn't realise he had one, but John Romero's got an autobiography out, so I've been listening to that today. It's quite good. I can recommend it if you haven't made it there yet.
You talk about when you met me.
Yeah, you're chapter 1, 2, and 7.
Yeah,
Doom Guy. That one.
Yeah.
I have that on my list. It's been sat there for about a year and a half.
I'm going to go back
never
to
it.
listen to is it Masters of Doom?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's about like all of them, isn't it?
Yeah,
the whole studio. Yeah,
because I think the representation of his sort of stepdad and stuff is very different in that book than what it is in Doom Guy.
Right.
You're going to play Bobby Fish and try and find where's the lie.
Yeah.
and try. You're gonna cross. What's the word? You know, compare. I don't know
Cross-examine.
what the word is. Cross-examine. Yeah, that'll do.
Cross-examine. Yeah,
I could see
yeah.
you thinking, Alex, and I couldn't reach out because I just didn't know where you were reaching for. You had a
Yeah,
hand
you're
up
gonna-
looking for help, and I just didn't know where it was. It was dark, and I just had to watch you squirm in your seat there for a moment until KDB came to the rescue.
Yeah. You're going to cross-reference the two books to find out how much truth John Romero is telling.
Yes.
Cool.
Then I'm going to
Seems
take
like
him
a
to
lovely
video
man
game
when I met him.
court. What's the? Oh no, that's a podcast. I think I've just accidentally referenced when I was meaning to reference Phoenix Wright, his attorney.
Oh yeah, Games Court.
Yeah,
Which I've also appeared on. God, I'm so famous.
such a famous man.
Right, Kelsey, off you go, mate. Round 1.
Right, let's go. 2008. We're starting big. Why not? Gears of War 2.
Oh, we had to.
You had to. You had no
Yeah,
choice,
I
really.
felt like I had to. There was another big one that I was going to go for, but I thought, no. What kind of podcast host of a Gears of War podcast would I be if I didn't choose it? I'd be disowned by you both, and you'd continue it without me.
We'd have to. We'd have no choice, really.
Yeah, I'd make you. Gears of War 2. Which I still remember seeing the trailer to this day. You remember they ripped off basically the Apple campaigns with the contrasted. Apple used to do colours like black and white on like a colourful background, and then the Gears of War 2 trailer was just black on red, and it had the Locust and Marcus running towards each other and doing the chainsaw battle, which was like a big new mechanic. And I'm pretty sure. So what was that? Probably 2007. Yeah, it's like back in the still relatively early YouTube days and internet trailer stuff kicking off. I still remember seeing the premiere of that trailer to this day. And I remember tweeting about it one day, and the guy who cut the trailer said he replied and was like, it was one of his proudest moments. They were all just so proud of this thing that they put together for the game, which showed nothing from the game but got everyone really, really hyped, including me. So
Fantastic game. One of my most played online
yes.
games as well.
Yeah. Perfect horde mode.
Yeah, horde mode wasn't in the first one, was it? It sort of arrived and peaked in 2.
Yeah. 2, there was less like buying stuff, right? It was just pick stuff, put it up, crack on.
Yeah. 3, and then it was the one that had the chest where you could buy upgrades and sort of create a little camp that I liked. Was that 3 maybe? And then 4 they introduced cards and things like that, and I'm not into that so much.
Yeah, they did introduce those cards in 4.
It was 4 or 5 you and I played. I started playing that online with you and someone.
The Fabricator and the cards came in 4, yeah.
I think it was 4 you were playing, David.
I'm going to have to remind myself. One of these days.
Only we're on a podcast, so we might cover that at some point before we die.
We shall. We'll get there. All good things.
Oh, it's me, isn't it?
It's you, Alex.
I think if you say so.
And I do. I think there are bigger games from a commercial standpoint. Oh, are there though? That's probably bollocks as well. I'll probably just stop saying things that aren't true and just say Street Fighter 4. Because I think that was such a return to form that I imagine everybody lost their minds as much as I did. I didn't expect me to pick that one first, but something's just spoken to me, a ghostwriter, if you will.
Street Fighter 4 feeling. Was he shouting "It's Christmas" from behind you? Was he?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe I've been suckered in by that. That Chun-Li figure is massive in her hand as well. It just makes no sense. It's like bigger than her head.
I didn't really play Street Fighter 4. I think this has reminded me of like the brief period of time I lived with someone I used to work with when I was at uni, while I was at uni, which wouldn't have been 2000. Did we start uni in 2008? That would be right. That would be about right. So yeah, it possibly was. I played it a couple of times with my flatmate, and then never again. So that's my entire life experience for you with Street Fighter 4.
I don't think I've ever played it, to be honest.
Really, I played so much Street
It's
Fighter
not.
4.
I'm like the fighting games. I just fell off after the early Tekkens and stuff, and then
Yeah.
after that played like didn't really play really any fighting games until Injustice: Gods Among Us came out.
Oh, that was great.
Really loved that.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I think Street Fighter 4 is probably the last fighting game I properly put any time into, other than Injustice. But that was just playing through the campaign, not trying to play online.
Oh, I lied. I also played a lot of Def Jam Vendetta, but who didn't?
That's exactly. But that's not a straight up like
fighting / wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. I want to play that game again soon. That's the round 1. We're into round 2, which means I get to go.
No, I haven't picked a game yet. I am on this podcast, I think.
Sorry, mate. You never played Street Fighter 4, so you're both dead to me.
That's it. We were just out. There's one here that it's just not a David game, but I think it's a banker. Don't know whether to pick that. I'm not going to pick it. I'm going to pick and make a play for one of KDB's other podcasts.
You bastard.
That's what I was going to go. Oh, no, actually, no. That's not the game I've got at the top of my list. There's one higher.
What was your initial experience with Fallout 3, David? Do you remember?
Yeah, I absolutely loved this game. And I think, I was thinking, I don't know why, but randomly the other day I was thinking about Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. And I wonder if, in terms of pure hour count, I put more hours into 4. But I think 3 is my favourite of those two. The one that I eternally want to go back to is Fallout New Vegas. I think I've put about 10 to 15 hours into that and then fell off. But I want to go back because people say that is sort of story-wise one of the better ones.
It's got some really good PC mods as well. I've got the PC version recently so therefore you do too.
Nice. I really was a big fan of Fallout 3. That was straight off the back of. I remember I've got this I don't know. I was going to call it a gaming epiphany, but that's not quite the right term. Sort of this come to gaming Jesus moment where I remember playing Oblivion for the first time and I didn't like it and then traded it in and got something else, and then for some reason I just decided my friend got it and I was around at his house and I just put it on for a bit and the game just blew my mind when I suddenly got it. I think the first time you leave the dungeon and the game just sort of says off you go, and that I found that so intimidating. But I don't know if I just matured or it suddenly clicked in my head and I just sort of absolutely fell in love with that game. And then Fallout 3 was sort of that, but sci-fi in my head at the time. So when that came along, I just dived straight in and loved it, every minute of it. Is it Fallout 3 that's got the vault with all the Garys in it, or is that 4?
Yeah.
That's probably the favourite vault I've ever stumbled across because I just did it by accident. I didn't know it existed. That was sort of obviously during internet time, but I didn't know it was there and just came in and that was one of my favourite Fallout moments.
Yeah, it's a great moment. I did as much as I could in that game. All the DLC, everything. Loved it.
Yeah, it's easily my favourite one. I do sometimes think about New Vegas being up there, but I think 3 is the best. And it's funny you said you started uni in 2008. 2008 is when I graduated. Fallout 3 almost cost me my degree because when I was supposed to be writing my dissertation, I'm telling you now, I just put it off to play Fallout 3. And a bit like you, I was just kind of blown away by it. And I think I didn't really play RPGs, to be honest. I did like Oblivion, and Oblivion was the thing that kind of converted me to fantasy. But Fallout 3 was the one I really dived into. Yeah. And I should have been finishing up my degree, and I remember being at home playing it that's back in the day when you're at uni, you might have a part-time job or something, but you will have days where you have nothing to do and all you do is just play games for 10 hours, and those days are kind of gone now, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm the same though. I didn't really play RPGs at that point either, and I remember it must have been Games TM I think I saw it in, and just I loved the aesthetic of it and the post-apocalyptic style with this VATS thing that looked really weird, and it was also a shooter, so it was kind of an easier in for an RPG for me because I liked shooters already. So I didn't know what to expect. I did not expect to be sucked in. It's probably one of the longest games I'd ever played at that point in terms of a campaign that carried on going. FIFAs and whatever, you'd play them indefinitely. But that was a life changer, that one.
It really is when you think back to it, because I was going to say I also didn't really play RPGs until sort of the Oblivion era got me, but I wonder if I did, and I just wasn't really cognizant of genres in video games so much, because I used to play and love Fable. I remember I was in secondary school, going to school and speaking to one of my friends about Fable for hours on end. And I guess that's an RPG, but it never clicked that that's what that was. And maybe I just sort of started to realise what they were. And then sort of I'm trying to think of like the most important games to me over the last 20 years, and most of them are RPGs, I think. Like Oblivion, Mass Effect series, The Witcher.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about David's gaming life. Alex.
All right. Grand Theft Auto 4, I think. Just don't.
I played that last year. Still very good.
Yeah, you did. It might be my favourite Grand Theft Auto. It's certainly the one I've played again the most. Leaning into Kelsey's point about being at university and having more time to fuck about on games.
Yeah.
5 I never finished, and I liked and enjoyed mostly from afar the previous Grand Theft Auto games. I owned them all, but I would jump in and they were always a little bit clunky, and I'd like to go around and get 5 stars and get the army after me and have a laugh and listen to the soundtrack of Vice City. But I never beat a Grand Theft Auto game till 4, because for me they were just like, I wasn't taking anything seriously enough gaming wise at that point. I was just having fun. Whereas
I guess to be fair,
serious gaming at that point.
When 4 came along, it was such a like dramatic difference in storytelling compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
I think I said this to you at the time, but my feeling when I came away from it was that it was the story was just sort of meh, but the characters were awesome, and it was fun just seeing the sort of ridiculous GTA style situations that the game would throw the characters into, and like how Nico would react while all this chaos is unfolding around him. Very well made characters,
and a really intricately designed world as well, like the the heart inside the Statue of Liberty and all that kind of stuff. There was loads of like just it felt like there was way more almost like playground stuff you could talk to your mates about, having have they done this and have you flown a helicopter and all that kind of crazy shit that I didn't have with the original games, because I was probably playing Nintendo instead, to be honest.
It's funny though, I think those days are maybe long, for me at least, long gone. Again, like when I played GTA, I've got no interest in just messing around in those worlds anymore. I don't know if GTA 5 Online has ruined me for that, but I just have no interest. I just want missions to do, things to maybe explore and see, and then I'm not just going to drive around and try and get the police on me. Maybe it's an age thing, I guess.
We've said it before, we'll say it again. We just want Mafia 2 in
every
open world game should just be like that.
Which I maintain is a sort of like early days Shadow of Mordor type thing, with where you had to go after is it Mafia, or am I thinking of The Godfather?
I think you're thinking of
of The Godfather. Mafia 2 is Goodfellas, isn't it, basically?
Yeah. You're talking about the Nemesis.
Yes, the Nemesis system. Yeah, sorry, I realised I did like full on eject from that sentence, but it was when I realised I wasn't talking about the correct game. I thought, well, there's no point in continue.
That Warner Brothers have patented but won't use ever again.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah, what the hell?
Twats.
It's me, isn't it?
It is.
Yes, it is.
What am I going to go for here? I feel like because it is, and a winner is you.
Of course.
Covered game.
Just do it.
There's 2 of them here. Which one am I going to pick? I'm going for Dead Space because it's
of course you are.
One of my favourite games ever.
Yeah.
What game?
There's it's a game that I probably would have been interested in anyway, but I feel like review scores must have drawn me to want to play that, because it was an EA game, it was a new franchise, it has to have scored well.
Oh, yeah, hopefully. I'm hoping it's one of those sort of. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think it's. I'm hoping that the sort of Resident Evil 4 reviewers got on that, because I think it would do well. KDB, what are you up to? Game wise, have you picked? No, it's you.
No, it's me now. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go for a game which I do not like, but I presume everybody just loved at the time and it rated highly. And this is Metal Gear Solid 4. Now, this is one of my ones that was towards the bottom of my list.
Same.
I feel like it would have just been praised for everything it did and being the technology wise and stuff and all this kind of stuff. I love Metal Gear Solid. I hate Metal Gear Solid 4.
I think IGN gives that a
10. It's borderline unplayable. It's barely a video game.
I've never played it and I've never had any inclination, but why is it?
Because it's that meme about it being too many cutscenes. It's like, yes, there's too many cutscenes. You're playing for 30 seconds at a time. Sometimes you literally take 10 steps forward, there's a cutscene for 5 minutes. You take another 20 steps forward, go left, there's another cutscene. And I kind of thought maybe this is going to stop doing this after a couple of hours. No, it just carries on. And it is a movie where you take a few steps in between now and again. And then the combat isn't even that good. It felt just not as just felt it's too open. There's nowhere really to hide, which was the kind of the tagline of the game. I think nowhere to hide.
They weren't lying.
Yeah, I've got a real bugbear about it because, I love a lot about Metal Gear, and I've never played it start to finish. I've sat through and watched cutscenes, and I have it, and I have a PS3, and I've tried to play it, and I just can't. I've just given up. I do not have time to just sit there, watch 15 minutes of cutscenes, play for 1 minute, watch another 15 minutes of cutscenes. So, but I'm picking it because I presume it's rated highly, and because it's Kojima. And
I've got a memory, and I don't know, I could be pulling this completely out of my bumhole, but I do have a memory that IGN gave it a 10 out of 10, and it was controversial, both because people gave it that, but also of the people that there's very much two camps in this game. I think, if memory serves correctly.
Yes, they did give it a 10.
So you're off to a good start with that.
Yeah. It's the one, I love Metal Gear 2 as well, I mean.
Yeah.
And I've never wanted to play 4. Just because
don't bother.
I must have heard that it's
just watch cutscenes on YouTube. The story's kind of cool if you watch. Yeah, you don't need to play it.
I don't have a massive Metal Gear history. I've played 1, 2, and 5, and that's all I've done. Never played any.
You haven't played 3.
We're changing that. We're changing that this year. It's got an anniversary coming up. We're getting to it. Yeah. I've never.
3 was the game. Not to go off on a tangent. That's the first game. One of the games that I played early. So this is on PS2. What did it come out? 2004, 3, something like that. I played for 3 hours, and then the credits rolled. The opening credits, and I just sat there and dropped the controller and couldn't believe that I'd been playing for that long and it still hadn't run the opening credits. A game had never really done that.
But he didn't.
One of my favourites.
Where's everybody going bingo either?
I was a big fan of 5, but that's kind of unlike the other ones, isn't it?
5 has the best gameplay by far. It just it cuts off at the end because obviously they fell out with Kojima and stopped production. And it's so evident. The game just stops and that's it.
The one I want to get to at some point in my life is Peace Walker. I've heard a lot of people raving about that one.
Really good. Yep. Yeah, I've probably been banging on about it. The only thing I didn't like is you couldn't do the final boss unless you had done a load of the soldier grinding. In MGS5, we have to you get the soldiers and rank them up and stuff. That started in Peace Walker, and you can't do the final boss until you've got all your soldiers to a certain level. And I just couldn't be bothered to do that, so I never actually finished the final boss. But the rest of the game was great. Yeah.
So that's round 2. We're on to round 3, and first to pick is David.
Yeah, I'm between 2 now. There's one that I don't think I like, but I bet it scored well. And then there's another sort of a Winner's U classic that I feel like probably did score well. So I'm going to go for that. I'm going to pick Left 4 Dead.
I'm just highlighting my list and taking out the ones that David's going to pick before he picks them. Because I just...
I'm going to run short really quickly here.
That's good. That has to do well. Because that was getting bumped. They probably got a load of the magazines, probably got all their PC mate writers to come in and freelance and give it a good score.
Alex, what do you think of this? I was listening to, obviously, for listeners and for KDB's sake, Alex and I have been playing a bit of Helldivers 2 recently. And I was listening to a podcast when I was out with the dogs, maybe Friday last week, and they were talking about Left 4 Dead, and they were talking about it's funny that all the games that I've tried to copy Left 4 Dead over the years and sort of just failed for some reason or whatever, just never sort of ever captured that magic sauce that made Left 4 Dead great. And then Helldivers 2's come along, not even tried to be Left 4 Dead, but it feels like a modern Left 4 Dead. What do you think of that as a statement?
It does make sense now you've made that statement. It feels like there was some kind of AI director going on there yesterday.
Oh well, if there was, it hated
being
us.
An arsehole to us. Yeah, yeah. But we were just trying to get on with our lives, and it just would not let us rest for a moment. And you did say, as you get further into the meta, you've got to keep moving.
Yeah.
Can I just say, obviously, I haven't played that game, but one thing I absolutely fucking love is the way that they deploy updates. Oh. So things like the flying bugs and the like secret energy weapons or something, they basically they tweet about it. They basically put it in the game without telling you, and then deny that it's in the game.
Yeah.
And then in character, kind of tweet about it as if like, no, don't believe this propaganda and stuff. That is like. That's genius. That's such a perfect touch rather than
their gimmick.
Hey guys, here's our new weekly update. We've got this, this, and this. They're like, no, they're actually keeping the theme of the game going. And it's like, you talk with your mates. I saw a fucking flying bug in the game. Like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. That's just, nonsense.
Fly,
Look, see, they've said it's not real. And then it actually is real. So that is fair play to them for that kind of thing.
Yeah, they even do that with their sort of weekly missions that they send out. They sort of announce it as like a general order to Helldiver people, to soldiers, there's like a call to arms. You're spot on. They're doing such a good job with that so far, especially given that it's like an unexpected, the volume, the sort of size of success that it is unexpected. They seem to have managed to,
by them as well,
they seem to have managed to roll with it pretty well and just sort of keep going. Sometimes you see live service type games get caught off guard and they sort of stutter to, or they sort of struggle to get their wheels up and running. This one doesn't seem to have, other than the stability issues,
capacity stuff. Yeah.
But I mean, who's talking about that now? They've moved on from that really quickly. Kudos to them for that as well. I'm last, aren't I? So it's Kelsey next.
Oh, okie doke. Let's go for Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
The worst Smash Brothers game, but that shouldn't stop it from getting.
But was it at the time? It's only in hindsight.
Yeah, it's the same with Mario Kart. Wait, is that in this one?
It is, yeah.
Oh, it is.
It's the worst Mario Kart. But I reckon that still got good scores.
You're probably right.
I quite liked the Smash Bros. Brawl single player subspace emissary thing because they had like weird cutscenes that were actually nicely animated and looked quite sharp.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of fighting. The overall gameplay of it was pretty garbage, but I think me and my friend Simon were the only two people who actually wanted that in the subsequent Wii U one.
It was my introduction to it. It was all I knew. Me and a buddy of mine who had the GameCube before I had the GameCube, and we used to play it loads. Whenever I go around to his house, we'd play it, and so I just kind of had no complaints really. I haven't really been I've never been massively into Smash Brothers. I haven't played the most recent one, which everyone says is the greatest ever.
It's really good, but if you're an adult like we are and you don't have someone to play it with, it loses all point very quickly. It's not a single player experience, and their online code is garbage. So
I feel like it's such a weird game though. Like, I don't know. Like, it's basically like 3 buttons, right?
Yeah.
Am I misunderstanding
Jump,
that? And that's it.
Bigger punch.
Yeah. And I think maybe sometimes that's why, I'm not saying I didn't click with me. I enjoyed it and had fun, but I have only ever played it as a party game. I've never played it by myself. Because I feel like it's just supposed to be like, 20 minutes, half an hour of fun, rather than really getting into it in like the tournaments that people do. It's insane.
High level Smash is insane to watch. So, they will say there's obviously a lot more strategy to it there, and there is.
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
But if you're not taking it as seriously as that, and you're just playing it for the casual sense, you need to have someone to play it with, because by yourself, let's say it's 20 minutes and you're done.
Yeah.
That game, though, however, is an incredible like Nintendo museum. The amount of music that's in there and all these things that you can collect with these sort of gacha style mechanics, like that did make me keep playing Brawl for longer than I probably would have expected to, because they just threw so much Nintendo love in there. And obviously the additions of people like Sonic and Snake and whatever. It was quite an event. I am going to go for something that I'm almost certain will have grabbed many a hipster 10. And I'm going to go with Braid.
Oh, you son of a bitch. That was my next one. Remaster coming out this year, if not already out. Is there not?
I believe so.
That's another game, a bit like fighting games. Sort of, I've played them from time to time and been sort of intrigued by from a distance, but never actually stuck with it for any length of time. But I like the art style for it. And I do like.
I thought it was great at the time. I bought into the hype, but I don't ever want to play it again. I don't need to. I know what happens at the end. Or the beginning. Is it the beginning? Is the end the beginning?
Oh, meta.
Spoiler. Right, we're on to round 4. I am second. Who went second just then? Kelsey. Kelsey, you're up first, mate.
I've written my order because I know I'll get mixed up at some point, so I've written my order through.
Good idea.
I picked MGS, didn't I? Yep, that's done. David picked Left 4 Dead and fucking Dead Space. Jesus Christ. I'm going to go for Mirror's Edge.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I'm going to go for Mirror's Edge. Going to risk it.
I've got to actually type that one.
Cool game.
A game that I've played a bit, but it's. I remember it's another one that just lots of friends banged onto me about it, but I was like, oh, it's fine. Didn't massively grab me, but I've not really devoted any time to it.
I was a huge fan. I really very much enjoyed it when it came out.
It is a franchise. They did do more, didn't they?
Mirror's Edge Catalyst was another one they did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I reckon it did well then.
I think it did that EA thing where they just never managed to. It was like reviewing fairly well, but just never got that sort of critical mass of people to purchase the game.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's still quite a striking game even to this day, I think.
How bad is that? I've already forgotten what the game is. Mirror's Edge. Yeah.
Edge.
Fucking hell. I've just been staring at my list while you were talking and I just went out of my head what was even picked. I'm getting torn at this point, Al, between games I don't like or have no stake in, or picking ones that I'm less bothered about but I know will have probably scored higher than the ones that I care about. So it's head or heart. And there are some that I don't know whether they transferred over to this part of the world at that point to the extent that they would do now. What are you going to say?
I was going to say, if you want to pick Snoopy DS, Let's Go Meet Snoopy and his friends, just do it. Just go with your heart. No one will judge you.
I did see Asda had released the game in 2008.
Asda?
Yeah.
Asda? What? Let's go back to A. Let me see.
Are you all right then, mate? What are you doing? I think that Chun-Li's fucking with Cola, you know. She just did a little jump on the spot. I don't know what happened there. She was just sort of staring at something. Right. Oh, fuck, this is hard. I think I'm going to... Oh, there's one there that I reckon David's going to pick. And I've just got no idea about it because I don't like it or I didn't bother to play it. I'm going to leave that for him for a bit later. I'm going to go for...
I'm already running out of highlighted games, which is a problem.
It's a P or a B. All right, I'll leave that for later. I'm going to go for Devil May Cry 4. Fuck it. Not a P or a B, I know. I just totally changed my mind right then. Never change your mind when taking a penalty, mate.
Is this the Devil May Cry that people got angry about?
No,
Which
that's
is
the
the one
MC.
that...
I don't think so.
Right, okay.
Devil May Cry 4, if I was to guess at a score right now, I'm going to say it probably has an 85.
Okay.
I swear it's like you were saying earlier. It's all 8s at this point.
Yes,
I think it's going to be a low scoring one
year.
for sure.
It's definitely one of the worst in the franchise, but I think it's still the base level quality is still way high enough that people probably were fans of it, even if they were slightly underwhelmed.
How was looking at this list that when I was making my list today, trying to work out if sort of, you know how we talked about like the Nintendo bump when we've picked another couple of games earlier on. I was wondering if like the PlayStation bump was in full swing yet for this, because there's a couple of PlayStation games in here that I was looking at and I was like,
Well, the fucking Metal Gear 4's proved that, hasn't it?
True.
Got 10.
Also want to highlight
sorry, don't talk yourself out of that Nintendo bump, by the way. If you've listened to enough of the back page pod, you'll know how much Matthew Castle regrets the score that they gave to Mario Kart Wii. So I'll just leave that hanging in the air. Carry on.
Might pick that then.
I have a massive in like fiction and stuff like that. I absolutely bloody love alt history stuff. During this era, Sony were doing like a mad. There's a few like games going about that was alternate history. It had the Resistance, Fall of Man series. It was on the go. Another one that is, I think it was reviewed terribly, so it's definitely getting picked. Turning Point, Fall of Liberty.
Jesus! I haven't thought about that in decades.
Yeah, like on paper, those two games, or that franchise and that game, right up my street. I just could not get on with them. Like people, PlayStation fanboys, no, maybe not fanboys, people that had PlayStations and not Xboxes, used to absolutely rally behind the Resistance Fall of Man flag, and I just could not get on with it. Yeah,
they had to.
Great idea that just never translated into a game. And was it Resistance?
Halo Killer, right? What was that? Killzone. What was that supposed to be? Halo Killer.
Killzone was actually quite good.
I think Resistance is supposed to be okay. You probably get an 80 for that at minimum.
The box art for is it 3?
It's your Ollie Murs.
The Ollie Moss one.
Ollie Murs. Ollie Moss. Fucking
Ollie Murs box art. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just on the front like. Hey,
I mean, to be fair to you, there's almost definitely an Ollie Murs dance game on Wii at this moment in time, probably.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Mel B.
I want to pick Burnout Paradise.
Ah, yeah, fucker. That's what I was gonna. That's when I was thinking it's a B or a P. That was the B. That must have got great games.
I think so.
Burnout's awesome, and this was open world, and it was like a really kind of like revolutionary
really
way of doing a driving game.
Or did they do an Assassin's Creed Prince of Persia thing, and they just sort of? Is there a one? They kind of did,
but I don't think that was a problem at that point. I think people really like that you could just drive up and you sort of have to stop, that you brake and beep your horn or something, and then it starts. Very Test Drive Unlimited era of people wanting a big open world where just stuff happens all the time in your car. That's going to score well, and it is very good.
It's still great.
Yeah, the remake is pretty fucking good, isn't it? Right, that's round 4. So, what's your? You're going to be second this time, aren't you? Am I first?
Yes.
You're first, yeah.
Whoa, okie dokie. I am going to go for Ninja Gaiden 2.
Good choice. I think it's one that I would want to pick, but I'm a bit scared of it.
Yeah, it's one I desperately want to play, but I'm a bit scared of it. I love the first Ninja Gaiden on the original Xbox. I know for a fact... No, I don't. That's stupid. That sounds like I've cheated. I know that this will not score as well as the original Ninja Gaiden, because the consensus has never been that this was a better game. But I do remember it being very, very highly thought of, and looking at it at the time and thinking, oh, I'd love to play that game, but everyone keeps saying it's really hard. So, yeah, I've gone a little bit Japanese action game at the moment, and I might regret that.
Not a series I've engaged with, but would probably quite enjoy.
The first game's excellent. Just really hard.
It's me now, isn't it? I was waiting for KDB, but...
No, it's you. It's you.
Prince of Persia 2008 is the one that the lady keeps saving him from death, isn't it?
You cannot die, yeah.
Definitely not picking that.
Looks beautiful, though.
Does indeed.
Cell shaded.
I feel like I'm so scared of this. I think this could be a mistake. But I feel like Geometry Wars 2... probably
just looking at that as well. That's going to have scored really well. Yeah.
I think so.
Because everybody loved the first one. And I'm pretty sure the second one, you probably would get quite a few people to say, what could you make better about that? It probably had the looks, it had
Such
the
a cool
gameplay,
game.
it had the addictive nature, it had like it's like the Tetris style. They did it
Is
really,
any
really
of
well.
those
That's
games
it.
on Game Pass? I really want to play Geometry Wars now.
Me too. I think it might be, and if not, it'll be backwards compatible. Oh, it's so hard to buy games on the Xbox 360 store these days. I spent fucking hours the other day trying to figure out how to buy Soul Calibur 2 because it's backwards compatible, but it's also been delisted from sale. It's digital only. What the fuck is that?
I hate that.
Honestly, I got the Xbox 360 out. I plugged it all in. I had to fucking sort out how to get an app password. You can't put your actual password on your Xbox 360 online anymore. You have to go onto the website and generate an app password because it can't do two-factor authentication.
Oh, for God's sakes.
So to get past that, you have to... bollocks.
It's a ridiculous loophole. And like, okay, so you don't own it, but what's worse is when you own the stuff and it gets delisted and you can't download it. And there's at least 2 or 3, but one that sticks out to me, it really pisses me off, is in 2014, 15, they actually remastered Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and it was called Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD. This is on the Xbox
yeah, so they
One.
did, yeah. I think I've got that in Steam.
This is before the one, a couple of years ago, which is great. They already did it, and it was great. I played it. A buddy of mine and I played it for hours, like 100%ed it. I think, like drinking into the night over the course of that week, and I loved it. I think so. But anyway, so I bought that and I own it, but it's delisted and I can't re-download it. And to me, that just pisses me off that that's allowed. Like, how's that not against the law? And I know it's like, well, you never own it. It's always a license, but it's just bullshit.
Yep.
It's utter bullshit.
It is bullshit.
And that one, always kind of gets my goat, that one.
I actually heard something about Knockout City. They've set up like they've like kept the game alive, and you can have like private servers for it or something.
Oh right,
so
sort of switched
they've
that button.
hosted a way for you to have a private server, and
so you can still play with your friends from time to time if you want to.
Yeah,
That's
and
good.
everyone apparently went like crazy for how like revolutionary, which is pathetic, that it was. That this is a live service game that's no longer being supported, and the servers have gone, but they're letting you still access it and play it online privately with your mates. Pretty cool. Because we had like an evening of fun with that.
Yeah, we did. Quite enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah. But yeah, it's up to you, KDB. Last pick of round 5.
What? Yeah. It's funny because I've got a few PS3 games on my list, and I didn't have a PS3 at the time. I know I picked MGS4, but like I didn't play it until years later.
Yeah.
And I do have PS3 now, so I think I'm going to go for another PS3 game. And I've got a couple to choose from. I'm going to go for Wipeout HD.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, Wipeout HD.
Is that made by the now closed down Sony Liverpool, I believe?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I always forget they had a studio in Liverpool. It's not Psygnosis. No, they had nothing to do with it, did they? Or they the original one?
Became Sony Liverpool, I think.
Oh, there we go then.
I believe.
There we go. I've never been a fan of Wipeout, but that's because I died in the war.
F-Zero. I think I don't know. I think I hate play it. It's one of those games where I'm like,
when you go
I
to
should
a rave?
like this. Yeah. Like,
that's what they had
so
in Rave, didn't they?
Yeah.
The original.
There's so much to love about it, but it plays terribly. Again. Oh shit.
I just
there you go.
You're
You're back.
Son of a bitch tonight.
You're back.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think it's just maybe it is a hint of nostalgia, being from back in the PS1 days. It being one of the 3 games that I had, so I had to play it. I had to play Wipeout. didn't have Gran Turismo. I had Wipeout.
Right. Oh, what round are we on now? We're on round 6. I went first then, didn't I?
I think it's
so
me.
I'm last. I kind of need people to take away games I don't really care for, so I don't pick them and feel bad about it if they get bad scores.
I might have one of those.
Someone start doing that, please.
I'm going to go for. This is one I'm scared of. Persona 4.
That's the one I said I wasn't sure if it transferred over to the West yet, in terms of how much people cared about.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Like that, mate.
I didn't hear about it.
It's a fucking
until...
amazing game. So
yeah.
I think if people knew what it was, and it would have got crazy reviews. It's a PS2 game in 2008, so you've got that against it.
Oh my god.
We'll see. We will see.
And I know that Persona 4 Golden is the one that everyone bangs on about or whatever. That's the one that got remade or remastered. But the scores I think should be pretty good for that. But yeah, I was scared of picking it.
It's getting interesting. I usually don't struggle for highlighted games. I've got one.
There's two on here. I can't believe you've not touched yet.
There's two on here. I don't know KDB's taste intricately enough, but there's two on here that I felt fairly safe that you wouldn't pick. So I thought they might be relative bankers for a late game.
Yeah, I'm kind of playing that game too.
I mean, I have like 4 left that I have any degree of confidence in, and it's even not that kind of. It's not a high level of confidence.
It's going to be Spider-Man Web of Shadows, isn't it?
One of the most expensive Xbox 360 games in the world at the moment.
Was it?
Those two Spider-Man games, that and Shattered Dimensions, they go for crazy money.
I wonder if they
right now.
I wonder if they were going to make it obviously a Spider-Man 4 game for the movie, and then they just never did because the movie didn't come out, and then they ended up with those two games instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be onto something.
But it is your pick.
Let's go for Guitar Hero World Tour.
That is on my list.
Yeah, more slightly left field ones coming out now.
I'm leaving that in. If that grubbing out of your notebook sound effect comes across on the edit, I'm leaving it in.
I heard it. Yeah. He's like, that was on my list.
Yeah. That one I'm going to pick if I really have to. So, keep saying words and then I just rip them back into my throat again. Like, I'm not saying it. Oh, people must have given it a good score. Call of Duty World at War. Just get it out of the way. Just get it done.
So the reason this at the time was one of my favorite Call of Duties, and I believe this is also
I fucking love it.
The first Call of Duty that has zombies in it, and it was like zombies at its most simple, fantastic.
Yep, I played that in the last month with a friend of mine. We played it for hours.
I also think this is the game that killed World War II shooters, i.e. people were like, I'm sick of it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But it's still a good game. Still bloody fantastic game. It's Call of Duty World at War.
Never prestiged a Call of Duty game more times than I did in World at War.
Oh, okay.
But you can't do that now because it is riddled.
Oh, what was that one we played online?
That changes soon, and they get them all onto Game Pass and sort the servers out.
I would love that. I would really enjoy that.
I'll be on their agenda, right? You don't fucking buy Call of Duty to not put them all on Game Pass. So.
Oh yeah, but just they have to get the cheating stuff fixed.
Alex and I, what was it? Modern Warfare 2 you and I played.
Yeah.
And we jumped online for a moment. And it is just insane.
It's an acid trip, man. It's fucking horrible. Oh, it's disgusting.
What's the point? Why do people do that?
It's not.
It's 2024.
What are they achieving?
Yeah. Bizarre. We're into round 7.
We are.
I am.
I'm third. Which means Alex is up. Oh, you're back.
I'm second. Because I just went
I'm first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna pick it. I'm gonna pick the worst one of the franchise, Mario Kart Wii.
We're all gonna be disappointed we didn't do this.
I was there day one. I bought 2 of the steering wheels as well. Took it home. Oh, yes.
Amazing.
my girlfriend at the time, now wife, I should say. Obviously, she fell in love with me deeply in that moment when I brought home the 2 steering
Because you had
wheels.
2 plastic steering wheels. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a user!
And I think I used the steering wheels maybe twice.
Yeah,
that was
good.
it.
I was about to say, I really
Never
hope that
again.
the end of that story had a happy ending, aside from your very happy marriage.
Yeah.
That you did never use those.
They substituted the Switch ones for this piece of shit, which is like a tiny, flimsy little thing. This is the one that come with the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which you're just like...
It is so small.
It's so fucking tiny. It's like a third of the size of the Wii steering wheels. It's pointless.
Yeah, that is utterly pointless. I always forget as well, like when you first start a new game of Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, the fact that they turn on all the baby stuff like by default. That's
yeah,
mental.
I know.
Auto turn.
It'll get you for ages. You'll be playing it. You're like, why am I so bad at this? It doesn't make you better if you know what you're doing. Right. Okay. So that's that gone. You boys are.
It's actually a bit of a relief it's gone, to be honest, because it's been sitting staring at me for a while. Is old Mario Kart Wii, so no, I just don't have to worry about it anymore.
You're going to push me towards nonsense shit again, and I'm not going to win again.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go for one that I don't really care for or have any interest in, but I think it's going to have scored well. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 2.
Oh, that is on my list.
I was eyeing that up. I was eyeing it.
A game I would have been suckered into buying and then played it and was like, I don't like this. It's strategy or something. Buy. And then traded it back in again. So you got to go with what you know. And I know that somebody somewhere told me this game was worth buying, and it would have been somebody who reviewed it. So
is it the first one that's really fondly remembered?
I hope not. Just pick the other one.
Are you still listening to... I don't even know if the podcast still exists anymore because it's been like 15 years since I listened to it, but Rebel FM. And they used to play that quite often, that and Diablo, whatever Diablo was out during that era. I just carried on talking. It froze, but...
Just always to carry on talking, yeah. We'll try and piece together
it'll be
what's been
recording,
said.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Diablo 2, probably.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Is it me now, is it?
Yeah. No. I don't think you had enough time to have also done
I forgot who had gone. I was like, I'm third, it's not me. This one feels like it's going to be in the 80s, but I'm going to pick it because I'm struggling. Fable 2.
Yeah! Why have you only just picked that? Why is it going to be in the 80s?
Well,
I thought everyone fucking loved that game.
Let's cross it off my list. I can't do the scratchy noise, so I'm just going to go...
Was that one press of delete? Yeah, why have you? Yeah, I'm fascinated. Why have you left that till round 7?
I didn't think anyone would pick it. No, I think it's fantastic. Oh, I really like it. I think it's great. I don't know. This could be completely wrong, but I just in my head I've got it that Fable always scores in the 80s. So I was like, I don't think anyone else will pick it. And
listen, you could be in need of a few 80s with this list.
I could be.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on to round 8. I am first. I am going to pick Professor Layton and the Lost Future.
Yeah.
You haven't had many Nintendo games this time.
No,
Alex,
well, you know what happened the last time I did something Nintendo related in this draft.
Is it a good Professor Layton? Can you remember, Alex?
It's the last good one.
The last good one. The last of the goods.
Mm-hmm.
I played one
first trilogy
last time I was down visiting you because there's Professor Layton games on mobile now. So I now realised I could get like a Play subscription or something for free. And I was like, oh, that'll do while I'm in Poland. And it was quite fun.
I think Professor Layton games are awesome.
Yeah, they're really good.
I love them.
I might have... I think I mentioned already on this show, but when I worked in game, when the one after that came out, so 2010, the DS game, so it's Professor Layton 3, maybe, in 2010, or whatever it was, whatever Professor Layton that was, I worked at game for the launch and the queues out the door. Really? I don't think I'd even heard of it, really. I maybe heard of it peripherally, but the whole time I worked at game, that was the one where there were queues. It was inside a shopping centre, and boys, girls,
What's the
men, women,
demographic?
children.
It's
It
everybody.
was
This is it.
everybody, and I was like,
Commercially, these games killed it, but whether they did it critically,
yeah.
we'll find out, I guess. But my sister basically got a Professor Layton DS game for Christmas every year. And then she sold her DS and gave them all to me, baby.
Yeah.
The other
I think-
one, David, funnily enough, was Fable 3. That was another launch while I was at game that people were out the door for.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's quite a quintessentially British RPG. I'm not sure.
You could also be talking about Professor Layton as well.
I'm just not. So I'm not sure how. I don't know how that transfers across the pond. It'll either be sort of whimsically loved or it won't land because the humour's very British.
Interesting.
My pick, voiced by another British icon, Stephen Fry. I'm going to go Little Big Planet.
That's the other one.
You son of a bitch. That was literally I was riding on. That was the kind of everything was weighted on that being my last pick that I'm have any confidence in, and you've taken it. I really hope it's a 77. Oh my god!
R.I.P. Pour one out for Media Molecule. I guess they've just shut them down, haven't they?
Have they?
I
reckon that's going to have crazy scores, man. I reckon they did really well. I just fucking hate it. Oh, there's a cheeky little one I've got there. Right, okay. Kelsey, final pick around 8.
Let's go for.
I've got a couple more here. Loco Roco 2.
Ooh.
Let's keep up my tradition. I chose the
original,
original, I think, back in there. No, it's 2 words.
Okay, Loco Roco 2. PSP, right?
PSP. The first one, I just jumped back to 2006. The first one got an 83. I'm very confident this was scored higher. Yeah.
Kudos to you watching a UMD, by the way. I saw on.
Oh, yeah. Celebrating, the PSP anniversary.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, I've got a few UMDs. Predator.
I had a Bret Hart. The Bret Hart documentary on UMD.
Brilliant.
I borrowed a PSP during this era, and the only UMD I remember having was Series 1 of the Royal Family.
Fucking hell.
You can put everything on it, though. That's the thing. Like, everybody, because apparently it was really cheap to produce, and so all the studios just had these huge contracts with Sony. So everything basically was on UMD, old and new.
The Royal Family. Like 90% of the cast of that, if they were real people, would be disgusted to know they're on a PlayStation Portable. Or just confused, I guess.
I love the PSP, man. Said it before.
You have.
If you ever do a PSP retrospective on a Winner As You, get me on, because I will talk about that at length.
Yeah,
like,
it got me through.
I'll carry it. I will carry it.
Right, we're on to round 9.
It's me.
It's only 6 games
Oh, is it
left.
me?
Who
Am I first? Because I was last. Yeah.
It's me.
So you were second. So, hang on. Is it?
I was second last time.
No. Oh, was he?
No, it wasn't.
I don't know.
You
I was last. I just chose, Loco Roco 2.
You chose that
so I'm
second.
first now. David chose Little Big Planet before me.
Yeah.
Because I was going to pick it.
You go 3-2-1, 3-2-1 in turn order. Oh, and then you've picked last. And what did you pick for turn?
I went first, so I'm now last.
Then I went second.
You're second.
Oh, I see.
No,
Yeah.
first.
Sorry, you're correct.
Oh, Kelsey went second with Loco Roco, didn't he?
I went second.
No, I went last. David did, because he picked the one. He picked the game I wanted.
Of course
Sorry,
he did.
everybody listening.
Of course he did. Yeah, they're not going to hear that.
There's a few games here I'm quite fond of.
Are there now?
I'm just not sure how well they scored.
I'm going to dare Kelsey to pick another PSP game before the end, because there's a big one here that we talked about. I swear
I'm down to like my last 2 choices, I think.
There's 3 Bs here that I'm fond of. Not sure how many.
One of them's got 2 Bs in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was the sequel of that one that you liked.
I think it is.
We're talking in code.
They're both good.
David and or that nobody but me and David actually understand.
There's 2 Cs that I've got on this list that I quite like.
Okay, I haven't got anything beginning with
1F.
all that. I've got one that begins with the number 4.
Oh.
I'm not picking it.
I've got 1P left. I am going to go for. I'm going against my better judgment because I don't like the game very much. Or no, it's not that I don't like it. Sorry, I just think it's utterly 5 out of 10. Resistance 2.
Oh Jesus! Is it just called Resistance 2? Yeah.
Let me have. I don't know, and I'm scared to Google it in case I reveal something to myself.
Yeah, I'll do it. Resistance 2 game. Yes, Resistance 2. Yeah.
Right. Danger's my middle name. I'm going for another PSP game.
Is this the one I was almost going to pick?
Surely, there's only one at this point.
Yeah, God of War,
Yeah.
Chains of Olympus.
Yeah.
Maybe the one I was about
don't
to pick.
let me down.
Maybe the one I was about to pick isn't a PSP game then.
Oh,
interesting. Very interesting.
I'm sure this is a sequel. I'm sure the first one was a PSP one at least.
I am going to go for. There's a couple of JRPGs here that I could go for, but I don't know anything about what their scores would be.
So one begin with a V because I had that on that.
Yes. I'm going to go. That's going to be it.
Is it the fourth? Going to be high. I'm not going to stop spinning code. I'll wait till the end, then I'll ask you the questions.
The one that begins with a 4?
Yeah.
No, you'll never know what that is. I guarantee in a million years you won't know what I'm talking about. But you say it at the end, and if you know what it is, I'll be astonished.
No, I don't know that.
Okay.
Sorry, I misunderstood your question. It was the V4 I was going to ask you about.
Okay. Oh, V. Oh, okay. No, it's not the 4th one.
No, it's the 4th one we played. Was going to be my question.
Frozen. So I'll finish talking.
Was it the 4th one we played? Was going to be my question.
No, it was that. It was this one.
No, I'll stop speaking in code. Sorry. It's not interesting to anybody.
I don't trust. There's an indie game on here that I'm pretty sure was really big, but I just don't. I'm not touching it. So I'm going to go.
There's an indie game on my list. Saints. What was that?
Saints Row 2.
Oh, good choice.
Great. I really enjoyed that game.
Yeah, surely still on a high as well before it.
The first game's just bang average, but the second one I remember
I think the second one's
it really
the one.
found its voice.
Yeah.
The first one was like a serious GTA knockoff.
Yeah. It just might be a bit too crass for certain parts of the media. They might have just thought it was a bit naff. So it's probably winded up like 79 or something. But I had a great time in Saints Row 2 and online. That's it. Round 10. We're into the last one. I am second.
The mode in I don't know which Saints Row game it was, but the one I remember playing online with my then flatmate so much was that it was like the insurance job. You had to get yourself run over.
Yeah.
Was that
so
2?
Much fun.
Or was that 1?
Well, if it was in 1, it might have been in 1, but it definitely was in 2.
Yeah. Cool game.
Very cool. Great soundtrack as well.
I'm going to play with fire here.
Oh, here he goes. He's swinging for the fences.
It's not SmackDown versus Raw. But it is a sports game, and I'm going for FIFA 09.
Oh shit! I think that was the first really good one, actually. Fuck.
I feel they were on the up and up, and I feel this is where Pro Evo had really fallen off, and FIFA was good for a couple of years.
Yes,
you may be
bang
right.
On. Shit. Why did I look for FIFA? That's dumb. Is it me?
So yeah, FIFA 09. Despite it being 2008, obviously it releases late in the year.
Yeah.
Okay. Oops.
So there's a couple I could go with my heart on, or there's
Did I
one.
just buy FIFA 09? Was that the one I bought?
No, you bought an Xbox game, didn't you? You bought Pro Evo 4.
Yeah, there's a FIFA game in there as well, I'm sure.
Oh, is there? Fucking hell. Be FIFA 05, I reckon.
I might be speaking shit. Carry on with your pick. I'll shout out.
I guess. So this FIFA would have been on 360, PS3, PS2 as well, probably.
06.
So. Yeah.
FIFA 06. Do I go for a really solid, like, 75? There's two. I reckon there's two solid. No, there's loads. I've got. How many have I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm trying to pick from here.
Too human. Do it.
Never.
Army of 2.
These are not on my list. This is wild.
Shaun White snowboarding.
Nope, still not.
Haze.
Nope. Although that's actually supposed to be all right. I bought that recently.
Oh, nice.
Fuck it.
What about the? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've said half of the word now. Tales of Vesperia. That's what I'm going
He's
for.
gone. That's one of the Japanese
I really like
ones
that.
for
I really like that game. Yeah, I really like it. It's great. Worth playing today. I played it on the Switch. It's excellent. But I don't know. It was on 360, and that's not the audience for it. So I don't know. I do not know. I think I've thrown away some really solid ones that I know would have got like high.
There is one I was
70s,
surprised you didn't pick, which I'll mention in a minute.
I'm trying
In
to
case
remember
David-
if Battlefield Bad Company had destructible environments, because I think if it did, that'll have done itself well. Bad Company 2 certainly did. I don't remember about the first one.
Surely.
I think Castle Crashers was pretty big in the day.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you almost said what I thought you were going to pick. What I thought Alex was going to pick.
Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway, I liked it, but I don't think it scored well. Same with Condemned 2. Far Cry 2, I don't remember.
Oh, I
Oh,
did not see
shit.
Condemned.
I didn't see
Condemned 2 or Far Cry 2.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see either of them.
Patapon 2
go-
was the PSP one I thought you were going to pick.
It's
I
so
think you
weird
should
that
go
you
for
can
Far
go
Cry 2, by the
over you can go over this list 5 times and not see
Yeah.
games like that.
Yeah.
I am tossing up between Battlefield Bad Company, Castle Crashers, and Spelunky.
And not Castlevania Order of Ecclesia like KDB.
Too scared of Castlevania games. There's too many of them. and I
They're
don't know what they
getting
are.
lower and lower now. I'm not touching them anymore. That was in my list.
Isn't
but
that a good one though, Alex?
It's good,
on the
yeah.
DS? Yeah.
But they got lower and lower, I think, in terms of how people think about them. This was that was the last DS one, that one.
The well was not poisoned on this series yet, so I'm going to go Battlefield Bad Company.
Yeah, I think that's a smart choice.
Okay.
I'll be very interested to see how that fares against Far Cry 2, because I feel like Far Cry 2 again got good scores, but I couldn't get on with it. It was too real.
It used to annoy me. I think it was Far Cry 2 that I...
Oh my god.
Was that the one where you've got malaria and you have to like randomly inject
Yes.
yourself? Yeah, so this one, it would like direct you to... You'd like be driving down a road and like on the way to a mission, and the road to the mission would take you through like a bandit camp. You'd clear the bandit camp, go to the mission, and then on the way back, the bandit camp would be repopulated, and that just, for some reason, annoyed the life out of me, so I stopped playing it.
Fair. That's totally fair. Isn't that the one where you could basically burn the whole fucking place down by
Is
accident?
that one?
Yeah. You'd have to like bandage yourself and put like ethanol on your wounds and shit. Okay,
This is
so
gonna
what?
be an interesting score.
Yeah, so the one that I was talking about that begins with the number 4 was 428 Shibuya Scramble.
Oh yeah, there's no way I was getting that.
No. And I thought that you were going to pull that up. I'm going to see if that's got a review score on here. 85. Fucking hell!
Alex, I just opened the Castlevania one, and that's an 85 as well.
Fuck's sake.
But it's funny because I opened and I saw IGN gave it 9 out of 10, Nintendo World 9 out of 10, Nintendo Magazine 92, but then places like Edge gave it 6 out of 10. So it brought it right down, I think, on the Metacritic. But yeah, wish I picked that now.
Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Oh, okay. Let's have a
Cool
look
game.
for that. One of the ones I was talking about that I thought would be like a solid high 70 was Star Wars Force Unleashed. But I'll look at Banjo
Shit,
Nuts
was
and
that?
Bolts first.
That is like always sits in my head as a B game. I guess it's not if it's a Star Wars game. They can't be a B game.
Nuts and Bolts has a 79. Force Unleashed has a 73. So I'm glad I left that alone.
Wow. Okay.
What about Brothers in
I
Arms
think
Hell's
that's gonna
Highway?
be-
I think that was maybe like 69. But I liked it. I think they tried to. That's the one they tried to like. Brothers in Arms. Brothers in Arms. No, what's the Band of Brothers? It just didn't quite work.
76.
Okay.
I decided not to pick Mega Man 9, which got an 82. We also mentioned Valkyria Chronicles. Let's see what we missed out on there. 86.
I reckon Ratchet and Clank is probably in that range as well. Who would you think?
Which one?
Quest for Booty.
I also didn't. I remember I said there was an indie game I didn't want to pick. That was N+. That got an 83.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know enough
Quest
about
for
that.
Booty 76. I think you did okay to leave
Yeah.
yours off. It's me that's dropping the fucking hot ones. Okay.
Sorry,
go
just
on.
one more because I quite enjoy these. I assume, well, 3 more. Soul Calibur 4. No one picked that, right? I feel like that's a
No.
good one, a good fighting game that people like. Or is that the one that's got Darth Vader and Yoda in it, depending on what version you bought for which console?
That was 5. 4 has an 85.
Shit. Sonic Unleashed people didn't like. Is that right? Is that the
No,
one
they
where he's
no,
werewolf?
I think. Yeah,
60.
I've got that.
And Spelunky, please.
Oh my god! Ouch!
60, yeah. Oh,
Fucking
fuck
hell,
me.
I didn't
Spelunky,
realise that
87,
one.
mate.
Ah, shit.
Oh my god, that's gonna be. I view in here that are gonna really bite.
Yep. I think we're back. We're
I
back.
can't believe some of the ones. Looking at my list now, I'm disgusted at some of the ones I've got in here instead of the scores I've just read out. Oh, for fuck's sake! Right, okay, so let's do it.
Yeah. Here we
Everybody, go off and get yourself a beer. Come back. We'll go through the results. Now it's time for the results. I will go first because I'm doing the searching. Street Fighter 4 on the Xbox 360 has a score of. I'm just going to make sure I got the highest one here. No, the PS3 one is even higher. 94.
go. Nice.
Jesus
Strong
Christ.
start.
Yeah, boy.
I think it's all downhill from here.
Probably, mate. Probably. Let's have a look at Fallout 3. And I mean, I'm looking at all platforms, but surely the Xbox 360 one's the highest and not the PS3 one. Yes, it is. That is a 93.
I was going to say 90. I was going to say 91. 93. Okay. fair.
93.
Good solid start.
Oh, I wish I'd picked it first.
Speaking
no,
of 93, we have Gears of War 2.
Booyaka.
What a solid round one. I lead everybody by 1 point.
Tight.
Round 2.
I can't wait to see what
Grand
Metal Gear
Theft
Solid 4
Auto
gets.
4.
I
Oh, son of a bitch. Grand Theft Auto 4. Fuck me. Hang on. View all platforms. 98.
can. 96.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Come on.
Holy sh! Is that the highest ever? It has to be.
Maybe.
I think so.
Fucking hell. Well, my word.
Is it a 98?
It's a
Really?
98. Holy
I mean-
shit.
Is it though?
Oh, right. Sorry. No, it's not.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's a good game. 98.
Dead Space is the palindrome. No? Yes? I don't know.
89.
Yeah, there we go.
Palindrome. Yeah.
Yeah, the palindrome of GTA, 89.
Come on, Kojima, you prick.
Yeah, is that IGN 4 going to be indicative of the rest of the world? Yeah, kind of. 94.
Okay, I'll take it. Yeah.
Take that.
It's
Well, that's
it's
better
not
than-
94. This is a terrible game. but yeah, I'm glad it reviewed well in 2008.
That means there is a 5-point swing between everybody. 192 plays 187 and David with 182. 98. For fuck's sake, that is mental. Right. Braid. 93,
obscene.
baby.
Oh my god.
And we're on to David's Left 4 Dead.
That's a 90, I reckon.
Let's check the other
Prediction.
platform.
9-0.
It is an 89 again.
I think this is okay. I'm not.
I mean,
I think this is okay.
We shouldn't be scoffing at 89s when we've got Saints Row 2 coming up and stuff like that. Super Smash Bros. Brawl is bumped by Nintendo, of course, to a 93.
Jesus Christ.
Even I wasn't expecting that.
Who was in the video game industry this year? Absolute lunatics, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Nintendo Power gave it a 10 out of 10. Did anybody else give it a 10 out of 10? That's Big Games Radar gave it a 10 out of 10. One Up gave it a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, just fucking 10s for ages. The more I keep scrolling, the less like I'm thinking I'm going to get past the 10s. IGN 995.
Oh, this could be really close, guys. This might be one of the closest drafts in a while.
Yeah, this is wild. Right, Devil May Cry 4. Am I coming crashing down?
Nah, it'll be 85.
How many red?
Isn't that what I said at
rubies?
the time as well?
Or was it? Maybe that's what.
Yeah, but it actually got an 84.
Okay. I still think that's when it all shakes out. I think 80s are going to be okay.
Yeah, it's the lowest scorer so far. Until Burnout Paradise. Don't be fucking silly. That got highest on Xbox 360, which is 88.
Jesus.
Well done.
Captain 80s for me this week.
Yeah. Mirror's Edge. Oh, Kelsey. Let's see. You've been saved somewhat by the PC score, which is too higher than everything else, and that gets you an 81. I thought you were going to be stuck in 70s for a second.
Jesus Christ.
That's
saved.
For that game.
Not saved at all.
You're only 8 behind. I've got 369. Kelsey's 8 behind with 361, but Dave is only 2 behind that with 359 as we get to round 5. And my pick was Ninja Gaiden 2, which scores. Oh, it only came out on Xbox 360, didn't it? That's an 81.
Okay. I think as long as you're in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to get a great score.
Wars.
You did get it's your second highest score so far with a 90.
Okay, I'll take that.
Oh my God.
You're 1 point behind me now.
Consistency. That's what I am.
Wipeout HD for Kelsey.
Is it controversial that I prefer Hydro Thunder to Wipeout games?
No.
No. As I said, I hate playing
People don't remember Hydro Thunder, but everybody bangs on about Wipeout.
Wipeout HD gets you an 87.
Good score.
Oh, which means you are 1 behind David. It's 450, 449, 448. Holy, you were right. This is the closest. Good God. Halfway through and with 2 points between all of us.
Are zombies going to save you here?
Yeah, round 6. Call of Duty World at War.
Come on, zombies.
The highest score was on PS3, where it got 85, which is kind of what I was expecting, I think, around for that.
Mm-hmm.
This could
Zone of
do
4.
Me. This might do
Unappreciated or not?
Hipster bump.
Doesn't even come up on the first results. I have to look at the Wikipedia for it. What? Reception. Oh. It has a 90.
Ooh. I'll take that. Definitely.
Races into a 4-point lead. With Kelsey chasing behind with Guitar Hero World Tour with a score.
I think this is a good Guitar Hero for most people.
It is, but
it scores highest. I think we said this before. Scores highest again on the Wii.
Does it?
With an 86.
Okay.
Which means you are now 1 point behind me, and David is 4 ahead of me. 539 is the current leading score. Round 7, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Name's way too long.
They just blur together to me.
Okay, so it does appear that the first game is the better of the two, as the sequel got an 82. Should have picked fucking Mega Man 9. At least I like that one.
On a ship of games you like.
Fable 2 on Xboxing's 360s gets 80.
Wow.
Mario Kart Wii, Kelsey. I handed it to him on a plate, and he received it dutifully for a score of 82.
Ah.
So you're still a point behind me, but David is now 11/12 ahead.
He's flying.
Captain 80s.
Yeah, it's just kept it solid. Didn't dip too low. I've got 98 and I'm not winning. Mental. Professor Layton and for fuck's sake, why do they call it different things in America? Professor Layton and the Unwound Future, as the Americans would call it, scores me 86.
It's your highest score for the last 5 games.
Oh yeah, since Braid. Holy shit.
Yeah.
David's pick for round 8 was Little Big Planet.
Come on, Stephen Fry.
Should have picked that earlier. That's mental.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
95.
David, you son of a bitch.
For like my last 2 games, Discord is frozen when Alex is gone, and it gets, and then Discord freezes, and I see it pop up on my screen before I see
him type it.
Yeah.
The same happened to me. Oh my god.
Loco Roco 2.
I was ready to pick Little Big Planet. I can't believe that. That's got to have won it for David. I think.
Yeah, sure.
Well, unless I've shot the bed with Resistance and Battlefield.
Loco Roco 2, which apparently is one word. Scores 85.
Yay.
So you are 2 behind me,
I think
but we are way behind David now.
Chains of Olympus is going to let you down, KDB. I think people were sick of it. I don't think people liked it.
I'll tell you what's probably going to let me down is Saints Row 2.
Surely not.
Ah, you motherfucker. It has done. Hang on. View all platforms. Oh, the PS3 gives me a bump of 1 to 82.
I'm surprised by that.
Don't just pick Castlevania, Alex. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, you should have.
Been thinking about this all fucking day and how I desperately need a win back and fucked it. Resistance 2 for David has not let him down. It has got him an 87.
Jeez, that is
way
not
more than I thought.
That's a 7 out of 10 at best, that game.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping. It's higher than the original. God of War, Chains of Olympus, the
huge part of the collection, wasn't it? This game, that God of War collection they did on PS3.
I'm gonna fucking come last here, lads. 91.
Holy shit!
Fuck.
Come on.
You are 18 behind David. FIFA 09,
Oh god, this is tight. This is tight.
Oh, what am I doing? Right, Tales of Vesperia. Oh, for fuck's sake.
What have you done?
79. What was I doing, man?
Oh. Is that the
damn
lowest?
it.
That's the lowest of the day.
Yeah.
That's such a big series as well. Like, I thought that would be...
Oh, yeah. It's a good game. I actually like it.
There are some inexplicable scores here this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Battlefield Bad Company, highest on the PS3 by 1, is an 84.
Solid.
I think that's the win there.
I think that's
it is the win because Kelsey is currently 102 behind.
Well done, David. What do I need to beat you, Alex?
Not a lot.
79. I need 82, right?
72.
72. Oh,
yeah.
Fucking hell. Come on, FIFA.
God, there's so many fucking scores.
This probably came out on every single platform, including handhelds.
Yeah.
Highest one, please.
Highest one is joint PS3 and Xbox 360. It's 87.
Oh, 87. That's
good score.
Yeah.
That's even higher than I expected.
If you'd asked me coming into this, I would have thought it was FIFA 10 was the one that was the triumphant returner.
We'll have to find out next time around.
Little Big Planet. You
95.
Son of a
man.
bitch.
I ain't fucking. I'm picking Little Big Planet 2 for my first choice next time. Jesus Christ. 95.
Wow.
Well,
Congratulations again, David.
that's
Thank you.
unreal, man. 894, which is
I'm surprised by that. I
your
was not even lying when I thought I was going to struggle with this one.
Is that
third
his
highest score ever.
Third.
He's had a couple of 900s. I just actually, I know he's not listening to this, so I'm just going to say my friend Chris does live sound for local bands, and he's a fucking piece of shit
Yeah.
because I asked him to go see this band, and he said he couldn't go, and he then did sound for it, so I could have got him for free for the 900, which is the band that plays all the songs from the Tony Hawk
Yes.
soundtrack.
The Tony Hawk's
He
one,
fucking
yeah.
was there doing their sound for him and didn't even tell me.
What a sneaky little rat bag.
I'm going to play him this clip and be like, "You're a fucking asshole, Chris." He knows that though, because I told
Yeah,
him.
they
already,
always pop up on my like Instagram reels or something.
Yeah.
They're so viral.
David's highest score is a 901. The highest score still is me in the very first game with 907,
Whoa.
and then I got a 903. It's the two highest scores there. But I've been on an absolute shitter in the last like 3 or 4 years. I've had an 847, an 839, and then this time an 864. I need to update the league table, but
I'll take the second place.
Oh, I'm liking
Need a-
this
need a
game
few
ranking that
seconds.
you've done. I've just seen that for the first time. If you ranked every game we've ever picked,
yeah,
you legend.
Wow.
I want to know who picked what though on this. So like the worst game, the worst game
GTA
ever
4 's
picked.
going to the top.
Devil May
yeah,
Cry
it is,
2,
yeah.
it was
Worst
68. Who picked that? Was that me?
Oh my god.
it was Kelsey.
No, that was me. That was me.
Mario Party 4.
Mario
was
Party
me.
4 was you, yeah. So was Settlers.
Yeah, Black
I
and
had
White 2
Black
looks
and
like a
White.
me. Oh, was it?
No, that was me. That was me.
it?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
looks like a David game all over. Yakuza
That was
must have been you, was it?
Of course it was. Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah.
And somebody at 13 was me as well, I think. So I do. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting all the stinkers at the bottom. Harvest
Smackdown
Moon.
just
Who the
winning it,
fuck
was
picked
you.
that?
That would be me. I did Harvest Moon.
Brilliant. So David, I'll do the proper points later. You're now on 20 points. I am on 15, and Kelsey is on 13 in the league table.
It's okay. As I say, it's a marathon.
It is.
Yeah.
Plenty of
Many
years
more
to
years
go.
to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I am sliding down the table. You can easily overtake me next time, Kelsey. If you get a win and I come last, you'll be into
I need
second.
a win. I need a win. 2009. I'm trying to think ahead.
Don't worry. As soon as we finish this call, I'll be straight looking at the list and like
Making this list.
swearing at myself in the mirror and like every one of them
I'm trying to
scenes where
name
I'm
a
just, like,
game.
looking upset, head in hands.
I'm trying to name a game from 2009. I actually cannot. Call of Duty.
Or off the top
or
of your head.
Modern
Well, there's
Warfare. Yeah.
maybe Modern Warfare 2 was 2009.
Modern Warfare 2, yeah.
FIFA 10,
That
as we
is
said.
the only one I can think of. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't. 2000. Oh, Batman: Arkham Asylum. There's one because we just did it on this very
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
There we go.
I can't wait.
Okay,
for
yeah, I've
that.
had a quick peek. There's a few, but not a ginormous year.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't think you just Google.
It's not
going
gonna beat 2008.
Anything, does it?
No.
Oh, okay. There's some. Okay, right.
No, yeah. I can't see any scores.
Oh, there's the start. Oh, okay. I'm getting excited for some of these.
He's already
Modern
getting
Warfare
ready.
2. Modern Warfare 2 confirmed.
Alex has put FIFA 10 on his list.
I'm just trying to see if Little Big Planet 2's on it. Oh, we've got shit like Angry Birds kicking in 2009. Does that count?
Oh, yeah. I guess
Does
we
the
need to
Metacritic
consider iOS mobile games.
Yeah.
We must be well into that by now. That game made on the Unreal Engine. That was on mobile by
Infinity
Share.
Blade? No.
Infinity Blade, that's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That must be out by now. I'm sure I played
Yeah,
that on the
probably.
train to college. Don't remember.
You told me about that. I bought that game because you told me it was good.
There was a couple games we used to play, sort of mess about. That was sort of started paying attention to mobile games. I wish I could remember, and I wish I still had that game. It was like a block, like sort of Tetris light, and it had amazing music.
Async Corp.
That's it. Best music on any phone game that I can think of off the top of my head.
I might put that as the outro music if I can find it.
Yes.
There was also some really shitty iOS versions of Resident Evil 4 and
oh yeah,
Metal Gear Solid. So because I didn't have a PS, is obviously nothing like the console game. It's more like a over-the-shoulder shooter. But I remember playing that on my iPhone in 2009, I guess, or 8.
When did Doom RPG start pop? There's like a Doom game on phones.
I've always wanted to play that.
I wonder if it's still about.
I think it is, but it's probably on PC.
KDB, what else have you been playing? Actually, I'm interested. No, are you moved wholesale on to South Park now?
Well, no, but I want to shout out Alone in the Dark, which
I've been tweeting
about.
That is
talked about it on my other
all
podcast
over the place reviews.
As well.
Like
and we had that planned for our Halloween, and I took it off because I thought we weren't probably going to go for it, but you may have put it back into contention.
Yeah, absolutely play it. Like the reviews are mixed, and it's not like everybody's saying everybody's slating it. I talked about it the other day. Just some of the reviews, man, were. I don't know. I messaged David about it as well. Just the comments about the game being marked down because it has puzzles that you have to read files to find the solutions for is literally a point made in a review that marked it down. And I can't let it go because it's just so stupid to make a comment like that. And I played it. It's a AA game. So put your expectations there. But you've just played RoboCop, right? Which is perfectly fun and enjoyable as a AA game. Alone in the Dark is... I've on my third playthrough, playing with the director's commentary now, which is also really cool. Like you go through and activate the little things to get the commentary as you go. I'm on my third playthrough. It's like Resident Evil 2 Remake and Alan Wake 2, but with less combat and slightly less production value. But superb atmosphere, really cool, interesting story. If you have even a slight interest in horror games, play it. Don't expect the biggest AAA thing, but it's not 70 quid. I think it's 40 quid to buy.
It's not.
I, as a long-time horror fan, Resident Evil fan, can't recommend it enough. It literally has, like in the blurb of the game, it says a love letter to the 90s survival horror, and that's exactly what it is. And the game has 2 modes to play in. It has an old school mode and a modern mode. And the modern mode does things like highlights the solutions for you and stuff. Whereas the old school mode doesn't. You actually have to listen to the people's talk and have to read the files.
It's quite tough, apparently, if you turn that off,
all the files are voice acted as well. So if you don't want to read them, you can just press play and it reads them. They're performed to you. So, these people complaining that it's too hard. I got stuck once and it wasn't on really a puzzle that I had to read a file for. It was like a visual thing where you got to move stuff around on the screen, and I just struggled with that, but it didn't destroy my enjoyment of it. So I need to finish my third playthrough because there's a few achievements I've got to get. I've been banging on about Alone in the Dark to everybody because just don't fall for the shitty reviews. It's perfectly fine, acceptable, enjoyable horror game.
Do you have the version of the game that lets you play with the old sprites? Because that's really fun.
I do. So another note is I was going to buy it, the physical. Nowhere near me had it in stock. Game didn't have it in stock. Argos didn't have it in stock because I usually get my games from Argos as well. They're usually quite good around here. Amazon, I cancelled my Amazon Prime, so I no longer have fast delivery. I couldn't be bothered to wait, so I got a digital version, and I got a cheap digital deluxe version on CD keys. So I got the old skins and the director's commentary for like less than the price of the standard digital version. So I was quite pleased with that.
Yeah.
I just fucking love that guy's moustache in the original version. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, really, really loving Alone in the Dark. Like, yeah, it's not changing my life, but I've enjoyed it so much that it's made me want to like soak up some of the old games and go back and look at retrospectives and see how the series has evolved and stuff like that. Yeah, the guy who I can't remember the guy's name, the guy who created Alone in the Dark is involved with the new one as well. So it's not like completely detached from him. And I'm not like a hardcore fan of the series or anything, but yeah, I've had more than my money's worth and couldn't recommend it enough if you have even a slight interest in horror. So add it back to your Halloween Halloween playlist for later in the year.
Alex, have you been messing about with anything that we haven't been speaking about? Have you played any Dave the Diver?
I have played some Dave the Diver, yes. Yeah, it's a bit of a slow starter, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Becomes almost a completely different game at some point. It's bloody weird. It is an odd game, but I kind of like it now. I've gone up
cool
180 on it. It's definitely a sort of chill game. Like I've been playing it and thoroughly enjoying it, but I've rarely been sitting listening to the game, if that makes sense. I can't
be bothered to read a lot of the text in it.
No, I've been
very inconsequential.
Had a podcast on or something while I've been playing it and having a great old time with it. But it's like, this isn't a spoiler, but like one of the thing that's strange, because like the game totally changes, and it starts off, there's like an aspect to the game where you've got to be like a sushi shop
waiter?
Manager. Yeah. By the point I'm at, I basically just pick my menu and everybody does it for me. I just stand and watch this absolute carnage unfold of people flying about serving things. And I do the odd bit of like grating wasabi every couple of minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
It's such an odd game.
I'm quite good at pouring the green tea at the moment. I'm pretty good at nailing that perfectly.
Oh, you've nailed that?
Yeah.
Wait to get the next one.
I kept fucking up the swimming because I accidentally went in an escape pod once right at the beginning. What's this thing over here? And then it took me to the end of the session. I was gutted. Other than that, I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Remake because I had it for free on PS Plus, and I was excited for how much better the second part is supposed to be.
Is it worth me? Am I going to like it?
At the moment, I don't like it as much as the original. It's
right, okay.
The combat in it is really good, but it's sort of had a really excellent start. The demo is really good. I think if you play the demo, which I think should be still available, you'd know if you like it or not from that. They do a really cool way of they have real-time combat while pressing the square button.
Plus. I don't know. I can't remember if I've got it anymore.
Mine's just about to run out, actually, thinking about it. Yeah, because they for a while, basically, I think it was you got it on PS Plus for PS4, and then they brought out the PS5 version, and you were not able in any way whatsoever to get the PS5 version if you already had the PS Plus version on PS4. Okay. They just wouldn't let you buy it.
Right. Okay.
Something like that, and then they then gave you it on PS Plus. But even then, I can't buy. If I wanted to, I couldn't buy the one where they added in loads of extra stuff. I can't remember what that was called now. It had an extra subtitle to it. So the combat, you press X, square, and it'll do sword attacks and things like that. You've got a dodge button as well with circle, but you have this active time battle meter that gradually goes up as the original game did, and then you press X, and then the game basically freezes, and then you do things like your magic or your healing, or your summons and stuff like that. So the combat's a really cool mix of modern action RPG and old school turn-based. Really well done, but it's very quickly devolved into go over here and there's a really low level enemy in this warehouse in a really boring sand area. Go over there and kill it and come back and you'll get a bit of money, or go collect 10 of these. It's one where you have to chase cats. And none of that's in the original. The original obviously is massive, but it shoved you to stuff that was interesting constantly from one thing to the next, cross-dressing to get into a women-only bar or whatever. I didn't make that up. That's actually in the game. You have to dress Cloud up as a woman and get him to go to
excellent.
To go and try and be seduced by this evil gang leader who then finds out you're a guy. It's fucking mental. Anyway, this game does not do that. It very much devolves into modern JRPG grind, and I was not pleased to see it do that. I hope it then pulls its way out of it.
Yeah.
I did eventually then get into a bike race where it's basically road rash, so maybe
Excellent.
it's picking up again. I was hitting people and stuff on a bike, so yeah, maybe it's picked up again.
I've still never played a Final Fantasy game.
Be amazing.
The one I'm going to play 16 at some point when it releases on PC,
okay.
and I've got an interest in trying the OG 7. I might try that one day.
Yeah, I would play through that again. I don't think I could finish it because there's way too much effort to finish it, but I'd play a few discs with you for a pod.
I'm sure Square Enix had a sale on Steam. I wonder if I've missed it. Let me have a quick check.
They probably do. Have you ever played?
You can get it on Xbox as well. Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, maybe that's
the OG. Yeah.
The OG one just seems like a good Steam Deck game for me. It seems like that.
Totally, yeah.
A great
yeah.
to play
good
that.
Shout.
So I don't see the.
Actually, you know what? I would probably play it handheld as well if we played it again. 16 is definitely worse than 7 has been so far for its bullshit side quests of collecting leaves and bullshit for a soup or whatever it is. But yeah, I don't hate it.
It's $9.99 on Steam. Maybe I can get it cheaper somewhere else.
I'm sure you can.
You're in Argentina. We'll take a trip to Argentina and get it.
I was just looking for Alone in the Dark keys from Argentina. Actually, they've all sold out.
Yeah.
I suppose that brings us to the end of the podcast. Very much enjoy catching up on what other people's playing. I don't really have an outlet for that in podcasting. So
yeah.
I guess that brings us to the end of another episode of The Winner Is You podcast. If you like what you heard, and even if you didn't, why not give our numbers a bump by subscribing to us on your podcast feed of choice? Or if you prefer to consume your podcast in a visual format, you can head on over to YouTube and search A Winner Is You podcast, where you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. If the podcast isn't enough for you, you can also follow our website, formerly known as Twitter, at Winner Is You Pod, and you can even send us an email to tell us how wrong we are about our gaming. I don't check it very often, and movie opinions by writing to awinnersyupod@gmail.com. Alex and I also have not Twitter, at David Smiley and at SuperThrillix. KDB has Twitter for the moment, K_D_B, is that correct?
Yeah, still there.
And we also have TikTok, so head on over there and search A Winner's You Pod if you wish. KDB, what of your many thousands of podcasts are you working on at the moment?
Yeah, we've had you recorded on here multiple times say you do too many podcasts, and you've released at least 2 since you first said that.
What I do need to caveat is that, like, the Starfield podcast is... I'm on that, but that's Eric's podcast. I've said, yeah, I'll take part in that. And then I started my other Sunday one, the Game and Aroma, because like David just said, he doesn't have an outlet to just sort of talk about what you're playing and do stuff in, because I'm so sick of Twitter and putting your opinions on Twitter is just pointless. I was like, I just want a place to just vent and talk. So I started another one, and the caveat is it's so lo-fi and just minimal effort that I just do it on a Sunday morning when I'm not doing anything anyway. So yes, I do have lots of podcasts.
I saw a Faz pod pop up. Were you on the most recent one of those?
The what? Sorry,
First Aid Spray.
What was the most recent one we did? I did a Resident Evil 5 one and something else, but I wasn't on either of that. No, I was on the we did animated adaptation ideas for a Resident Evil animated series. That's out now. That's just come out. And then there was another, an Albert Wesker profile, which I wasn't on. But yes, I'll be on, I pop on from time to time. Come and follow First Aid Spray. And yeah, like David said on Twitter, everything I do, I always just share on there anyway. So, but yes, there'll be another Gaming Aroma podcast this Sunday, and Gears Intel for anybody that listens to this. There's a couple of people that listen to you guys that do listen to Gears Intel. We are going to move on to Gears Tactics. I just need to give you both a deadline to play it by, and that will be our next big game we're covering for that. Alex and I did 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, which was good fun. So in the meantime, you can go and listen to that if you haven't already.
I've played like 90% of Gears Tactics, so it'll be good to go back to that.
Yeah, we will.
Before we move on too far, just on the subject of Twitter, Chris Dring, who is the
He pops
I
up
think
on
he-
a podcast. I listen to.
he runs games industry.
Works for
Biz.
games industry biz.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to my secondary school and he's friends with my friend Simon. They were friends like since they grew up. He was tweeting about Time Splitters. He did an article about Time Splitters today, where he interviewed one of the guys who was working on the remake, and I responded to that by saying that I was really frozen, so I wait.
Yeah, you responded to that.
There you go.
Yeah, so yeah, I said that I used to kick Simon's ass at Time Splitters, and that tweet was liked by David Doak, aka
Yes,
Dr. Doak from GoldenEye, a man who we've all shot in the face many a time, has liked one of my tweets. I was buzzing. So yeah, sorry.
You've peaked.
My little touch with fame today. David Doak, what a hero.
I saw Chris String went viral as well because he mentioned he was at GDC or something, and a developer said, "Oh yeah, we don't know why we bothered doing an Xbox game. We need to put all the focus on PC and PS5." And outlets have run with that and said publishers are giving up on Xbox.
Oh, is that where that story's come
because
from?
Because of one thing he said. Yeah. So yeah, I saw him getting a lot of abuse.
Jeez Louise.
Because of that. Good old
Convicted
Twitter.
arsonist.
Sorry?
Who, Chris String?
Yeah.
He's an
Convicted
arsonist.
arsonist.
Is he?
Yeah. Burnt down a barn.
We all have at some
Do we need
point.
to say allegedly? Are we going to get sued?
I'm not putting that on the podcast. I just wanted to tell you two that. But yeah, he burnt down a barn when he was, I don't know, a teenager.
Barn burner.
I don't know if he went to prison for it. I think he probably did. Or he had to pay a fine. But yeah,
he says a few dodgy things on Twitter. I don't think he likes poor people. Is a vibe I get from him. Is he a Tory? He comes off as a massive Tory.
Well, I mean, I grew up in a Tory area, so he probably
is. Your
I
MP Kemi bad enough?
Yeah, it fucking is.
Shit,
Did I not tell you that when I was in town with Cassie, I was walking to buy her some stickers from Smith's, and I saw some people waving Palestine flags, and I went over and spoke to them, and I was like, "Oh yeah, free Palestine," and they were like, "Oh yeah, do you want to sign this petition? We're going to go to Kimmy, and because she's our MP, we're going to try and get her to push for a ceasefire and wherever." And I was like, "Yeah." Wrote on it, wrote my address or whatever, and one of the guys waving one of the flags started talking about how he's ex-military and stuff, and he was like talking about how the government are useless, and I was like, yeah, I know, yeah. He was like, yeah, and it's not going to do anything anyway. I was like, yeah, I know. And then he was like, the worst thing is, it's not your generation that they're going to come after. It's the generation below you. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. What they do is they've got these drones that they send out, and they come over and they prick you in the neck and they kill you dead. But then anybody else who's got your DNA from that prick also drops dead. That's how they get you. And I was just like, I've just written my fucking address down on something that you gave me.
He knows who you live.
Fucking hell. Why do I put my actual address on where I live? At least just put next door.
You're just trying to be nice, trying to spread the good word, and
I just want a ceasefire. I don't want to be pricked in the neck and have my kid die as a result by a drone or whatever.
When you said they prick you in the neck and you die, I was like, oh, is he going to go like Halo? Because I've just been watching that TV show on Paramount TV where they replace you with a clone and then you'll die.
Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe that's what he was on about. Mental, actually mental. But then one of the other guys who was actually seemed normal went and got something off the market, like a little ring that lit up, and gave it to my daughter. Remember this? I'm with my 2-year-old while this man is saying this to me and pointing at her. It's her generation they're coming after.
They're coming after.
Are you going to kill my daughter with a drone? What is this you're saying? Oh, fucking unhinged.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Sorry.
Undermined his one point.
Yeah.
And on that bombshell, I've been David.
Wait.
He's been at.
Next up,
we have Metal Gear Solid 2. Is that correct?
Yeah, boy.
Hell yeah.
No fucking way. We're doing that on First Aid Spray as well.
All right.
Brilliant. Let's cross promote.
That is utterly crazy.
What's cross the streams?
We were supposed to actually. It was supposed to come out at the end of last year, but we all got tied up with other stuff. So I have to now. I'm revisiting it again.
I
was playing it. I'm playing it OG on the PS2 on my CRT as well.
Oh, nice.
And,
beautiful.
I was having a great time.
So we've
circled back to it, and we're doing it as well.
That wasn't
Yeah, I don't know when it's going to be out. Probably next month, but yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
How
we'll
funny.
show some love. Show it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be playing it from I've got the Legacy collection on PS3, which has got like everything and a little art book in it. Not
nice.
story, but it's got all of them. So I'll be playing it that. But I did buy Substance on the Xbox as well from CX for a $5 just because. Don't know.
Mine got posted today, so we can.
I didn't
compare.
realize that all the HD remakes are Substance, so I thought, well, I better get that Xbox one because that Xbox one's different. Without realizing that I've got that one already, and then they ported that one back to the PS2 after it was on Xbox as well, didn't they? But you've got the original, have you, Kelsey?
I've got the
Sons
original,
of
yes.
Liberty.
Sons of Liberty, yeah.
I wonder if I've got that on PS2. I'm not sure if I do. I could actually. I don't have a CRT to hook it up to. I'm just
Get one, man. They're you can get one pretty cheap. You don't need a massive one.
What,
a
an CRT? But where reliably can you get one from?
Facebook Marketplace. That's where I got mine from.
Never any round here. I keep looking all the time.
No one's strategy guide.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I have my MGS3. I nearly get divorced because I end up getting one that's that big, and I had to carry it with the fucking glass and the legs and carry it all the way up the stairs, and then it's 120 hertz. I can't play any fucking light gun games on it.
Oh no!
It's the whole reason I got it. I've got all the Time Crisis games on my PS2. I can't play any of them. I almost bought that Sinden thing, but I've heard too many people say it's a faff. My
CRT has to be on. When you first turn it on, for the first 20 minutes, it's green, and then it warms up, and then the color comes in.
Well, honestly,
so I need a better one, but it does the job.
I'm desperate for a CRT. I don't even care if it's small anymore. I just want one that I can play light gun games on.
Yes.
It's not enough.
Can I say my usual? I can't believe that light gun games aren't a thing on the Switch.
Yeah.
Well, they are, but they just have crosshairs, don't they? Like on the Wii.
Oh, do they?
But there is a gun called Sinden that apparently you have to fuck about with a lot, but does work on an LCD TV on emulated games on PC. But it's 90 quid, and I don't know if I want to take that much of a gamble.
Mm.
So this. My copy of Metal Gear Solid 2 has a DVD with it. I might go watch that tonight.
Yeah. That's the making of. Watch it. It's good. That's the one I've got.
David's doing notes for that one then.
Yeah.
It's also got a GameSpot.
They don't do that enough. They used to do that more. You know, that's like that. Obviously, Kojima wants the special features thing, like movies were doing at the time.
Of course.
But again, like when I opened the South Park case today and it's just empty. It's a part of me dies every time. When that happens. And we need more special features. That's why I like the commentary thing on Alone in the Dark. Like, it's so good. It's like 3 people that made the game: the director, like the art designer. Every room you go into, they're talking about the design of the room, the characters, and stuff like that. So we need more of that shit.
How does that work? Is it just dynamic, or do you have to go over and stand?
So you walk in
like you did
in every room. There's like a floating microphone in the middle of the room. You walk up and you press A, and it starts to play.
Nice.
I know Last of Us did it as well, I think, didn't they, recently? But I've not experienced that myself.
Okay.
I think they've got a games commentary on the
I've really messed with in a game is, I'm sure Portal 2 has one.
I was just saying that, yeah.
Or were you? I was reading the back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I know it's good. What distracted me is this, it's got, like KDB says, it's got the final hours of Metal Gear Solid 2 in a making of the game documentary, but it also contains an article by GameSpot.com's Jeff Keighley, who's now...
I thought you were going to say Gerstmann. Oh, that's a shame. Is the demo of the Metal Gear 2 demo, is that just the start of the game?
Trimmed down, I think. I think there's parts missing and doors you can't go through.
Right.
But it's the tanker, basically.
Yeah, so it's not. I'm not missing anything if I don't play this mystical demo that suckered everybody into thinking it was a Snake game when it actually wasn't. No,
it's basically the same. It just not all of it.
You start off as Solid Snake, don't you, and then switcheroo.
Yeah.
And then get naked as him at some point.
Yeah, and then you fish and mailed and all that. I can't wait for that bit.
Yeah.
It's fucking brilliant. Yeah, I'm so buzzing for Metal Gear 2. And then after that, we're playing. Do you want to say what we're doing after that, David, or do you want to keep it
Halo Combat Evolved.
There you go. He's done it. He said it. It's out there.
big game. 2 big games in a row.
Great
Yeah,
month
well,
ahead of us.
Yep.
And on that bombshell, I've been
Well,
David. Nope, carry on.
Sorry, yeah, no, I was just going to say I don't know where you're going to fit Gears Tactics in, but we'll find a day.
Oh, those 2 games aren't massively long, are they? Plenty of time for Gears
What
Tactics.
Tactics?
No, the other 2.
dunno.
Tactics might be.
Oh, right, the other 2. Yeah.
Metal
Halo's
Gear
only
and
about
Halo.
10 hours,
Yeah.
so it's not that long. And on that bombshell, I've been David, he has been Alex, and he has also been Kelsey. And I'm out.
We were.